transcend the powerlessness.
Okay, if I take a specific role after college, I take one job. How hard will it be to change 3 years later?
Depends.
Depends, but it's infinitely malleable, and 3 years later is
nothing. Yeah, I mean,
we're talking
still,
about the difference between 22 and 25 in most cases here.
Yeah.
Nothing is frozen in
virtually
sand.
Nothing. If you could literally say, I want to do a totally different thing, I want to go from being in computer sales to I want to be in
a yoga instructor.
Or write ad copy. I want to be a creative writer in an advertising agency. Right. You tell the story. I wanted to try a couple of different things in my career. I did this for a while. Now I want to do this. You're still in the sun shadow of your college graduation, and you're allowed to have new ideas.
And the classic methodology is graduate school, 3 years out of school. It's time for graduate school. I think I'm going to go be a journalist. I think I'm going to go be a rocket scientist. I think I want to be an astronaut. It's all good, and 3 years, nothing. It's not even in quicksand. It's so malleable.
How do you go from being a fuzzy to a techie?
First of all, I don't know why you'd want to, but let's assume
you can be a fuzzy in a tech world. That's pretty easy.
That's easy. In fact, that's highly valuable. In fact, the people who get paid the most money, the secret is, in the tech world, are the fuzzies.
Right.
I can tell you right now that Phil Schiller, the head of worldwide marketing at Apple, who used to be on my PowerBook team, makes a lot more money than the head of engineering. Right. Because he sells all the stuff those guys make.
Yeah. In any technology company, for instance, by the way, what percentage, in a company that's bigger than, let's say, 500 people, what percentage of the employees are actually engineers doing technical work during the day?
10%.
10, 20%, 10, 15%?
Yeah, 50 people.
Finance and marketing, communications and human resources and all kinds of stuff, you can be in the tech world. If you want to truly be a techie now, if you actually want to do tech work, you probably have to either learn the stuff, go back to school, or you start trying it and demonstrate you can. We got an example right now. A young man in our class is a philosophy major. Fell in love with design in his junior year at Stanford, and too late to shift majors, and started building a portfolio and hanging out with designers and reading all the literature and talking like a designer. And he just landed a designer internship job at a design firm on the East Coast for the summer because he just kind of acted like one long enough that he got somebody to believe him.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think if you've come to loving technology or doing this kind of work sort of later in your academic career or later even in your professional career, there's a lot of top people in the technology world that don't actually have the
right degree. Yeah.
They just found themselves doing it very well.
Right. So, you want to write code, write code. Show them your program.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing succeeds in that world like just doing stuff. You will run into some barriers in some places around degrees. But
competition.
Things nowadays are moving so quickly that you download the iPhone programming class, you write an app, you're one of the top 10 apps on the Apple Store, and all of a sudden everybody's calling you and wants to hire you to run their software group. So things are pretty flexible. If you have an aptitude for it, you can be successful. The other thing is, who makes the most money in any technology company?
Marketing and sales guys.
Sales guys. Yeah.
Right.
Sales guys. Who makes the most money at IBM? Sales guys. Everybody.
Yeah.
They're like if
usually more than the CEO.
Yeah. It's really quite interesting. So if you're thinking, gee, I don't want to be an underpaid copywriter with my history degree. I'd really like to make a lot of money. They told me that you can make a lot of money being a techie. If it's about the money, which also comes with power, prestige, and influence in organizations. If that's really what you're looking for, maybe it's not the switch to technology. Maybe it's just how to make the most out of what you're doing. My best example is my sister always wanted to be a high school teacher. Taught high school for 10 years until one of the students in her class set the drapes on fire, and then she said, "I don't think they pay me enough to
deal with this.
Although I love teaching, I love teaching. I don't want to do this." Transferred herself over to a technology company, Hewlett Packard, as a training specialist, and now runs talent for Yahoo. Gets paid more money than anybody else in the family, and uses the same techniques of teaching. Personal development, empathy for the learner. It just does it for executives.
And corporate environment. Yeah. Okay, so those are some thoughts. Take a break. We'll start another file, and then